Slide up. Let's just slide up.
So I've been watching.
Nice to see you. Just waiting down to finish his 52.
So the next stage is produce a machine.
Yes, he is.
Which will
Yeah, he's got my one. I told him to carry it around whilst I was there. Yeah.
and then nitrogen at that much higher level.
Doesn't matter.
Act like oxygen
No.
and burn.
Because that's the magic part about this is
Nitrogen
this has got a, because it's 360, it sees all the way around.
Fly anywhere you
Right?
want to
Instead of having a stabilizer distance that, it has a stabilizer that does and you can hold it sideways, down.
So the air is
Yeah. I mean, you know, I can go like that. Yeah, yeah. Still straight up.
So the air,
That's still straight up. If you go like that, it's got a compass in it, so it's always facing that way unless you tell it not to.
look up your because one half of the patent, one half of the patent
Wasn't sure it would have a very long battery life. I can't remember if I put battery. Like me to be organised.
So about tied up in red tape.
So normally get your props out. It's got not very good battery life. You tape it and then you go all day then.
All right.
Why do you think props shape? You get your props out.
That's the irony.
No, that's the money.
Flaky people, like I was saying.
But did you know what the bastards did as well? They
They
took my clips
and I just say, well,
they put them in their document and they have a document. Oh, those clips in there belong to us. They're great. Take his videos down.
These are Julie Falcon.
But the trouble is, they've got clout.
Oh,
it's like a viewers, and I'm nothing, you know. So
seen that.
it's I've seen them
there.
YouTube. If
They're on our
they buy any more shit, I'll go straight to county courts. We're going to see some
There
business
is in
against them.
space, like taken by the Marin and Property Probes, including the modern show
Because I'm
vegetation.
not working at the moment.
There are things.
This is a
Do it, but yeah.
living
If that representative is against the court, then I'll be more contact than I've had with them so far. So I can't see that happening too much.
They stand there. They're taking your stuff and they haven't your signature on a bit of paper. Then they
There's crinoids on it, which finish.
Well, they didn't. Yeah. Full stop. They knew this, and they were just, you know,
I had
flaunting it.
What is that thing?
professional photographer for 20 years.
That's
why the
They take pictures of magazines and I was putting stuff up online. People are in art.
that's definitely
Buy from me. And
It's difficult not to insult it, isn't it?
and then they would copyright. And
Unbelievable.
that's £75.
Yeah.
You know? Oh no.
no, you know, root structure means
Oh, you give me one nice thing. It's like copyright. They don't see it that way, do they? Yeah.
and
I'm still working in the
Martian
photographic industry. I'm
little
a
things running around.
and I promote
So, Miles, is this all from like remote viewing
stuff. So we used to have people come in with like photo shoots.
And this is where the Martian
They
base
will want
is
to copy this. Yeah. Fill out this form for
a little bit like Space
I don't get
1999.
taken to court.
You have to be integrated with the force field
You know,
because
they don't get it. They just don't get it.
these things
Man,
don't want us there.
Nice.
who's that?
These creatures.
Quite nice to just have that in my
Butt scuttlers.
Are they intelligent then?
They're very intelligent. They've got precognitive perception of our intelligence. So if they'll know what we're thinking before our conscious minds don't sleep. They can outsmart them. So
And the reason they know about your conscious mind before you do is because they're actually probably back here in your mind to start with.
Exactly.
That's how they know what you're going to do before you know. Yeah.
They build a face in the herbs and stuff. They're both weird things. They did. They build us a face.
that's what she's saying. That doesn't mean it's true. No, it's
really?
fair enough.
So I've got a serious question.
You're talking about the ones in the Lake District.
No.
And you're talking about the ones flying in the Lake District.
Serious question. Come on.
Out of all the people,
15 feet wide.
out of all the people that you've interviewed on your bases, how many of them do you think you're making it up?
You can't tell.
Do you not
Just
do
report.
not
You don't
get that
believe it.
feeling?
You don't
Do you not
believe
get
it. You don't believe it. Don't believe. Don't outsource yourself. You can't go down to an alien base. You can't go down to find source of it.
Do you feel
You can't go down to an alien base.
But you
I
can. You can.
You don't have to do this. Right.
Oh, it's 360.
Oh yeah, Matthew can break in anything.
I see. You seem to do post production. That's
No, he does pre-production, action, and then edits it, and always gives himself the best camera angles.
You had your chance to jump over the fence.
I was just going to bring that up.
I saw the red spheres.
Yeah.
Where you parked your car was where those 2 red spheres were.
Right. Anytime. I'm sorry, officer, you can't arrest me. I've just seen some red spheres. That's it.
The best part of that video.
So the
When they
officers
grab you,
Yeah.
and I say, "Yeah, we got your mate up."
But not
so.
So they then spotted the female police officers. They spotted the Masonic eye of Horus and all the stuff, the way all the houses were made, and all the houses have got blast shelter, bunker entrances. So the whole housing estate is basically, if something's going to happen, that's where certain people will be living, and there just happens to be an underground base next to a girls' school for training purposes, and all of an access deep into the.
Remember all the street names?
Yeah,
They were all Freemasonic
Yeah.
street names. You know, Knights Templar this and, you know, Royal Arch that, and
you've
all
got
this
glass.
kind of weird, yeah.
Not that.
There wasn't
No way that those houses
They
are
were
there.
just these things that take down the video and we'll let you have a tour. And I said, yeah, not a problem, okay. So I'll bring my camera and do it. They went, no, you can't bring the camera. I said, well, the whole point of me coming there is to film and do some video. What's the problem? They were like, no, we don't want that at the moment. Guess what? Now they're offering tours there, £20 a head. So I'm hooked in on the tour. Oh, really? Because I said no. I said, well, I want to take my camera. They went, no. I said, well, all right, I'll leave the video up then. It's worth more value to me, you know, showing what I did that night, you know. High Wycombe. Yeah. So if they fuck with me, I'm going to cause major mayhem. I'm thinking like to just drive in and do donuts on their bloody cricket pitches.
Well, because you can't use Baconian scientific method in a lab to either prove or disprove the existence.
So I'm hoping they're not going to pull shit, but you know what? Yeah.
As a scientist, I think.
You know what they're like?
And keep religion out of it, not be.
They drop that idea. Yeah.
I'm talking about something different, so I know where you're coming from, right? I'm
There's a
nuanced
place in
enough.
Swindon that was
See,
more
Baconian
interactive
scientific
than
method,
urbex there now.
If I drop this 100 times, you know, the unrepeatability thing, that's the lab test, and we know that's gravity. We know it's not magnetism because
this place
it's
was not
buoyancy.
open to the public. Urbexing and exploring.
And so
And this place was not open to the public because I said a big stink about it. Now they're saying, oh, well, maybe we got something here. We charge people to come in and people are flocking there. They sold out, sold out within days.
So it's like I can see the moon at different angles. I can see the right.
My place you went to in Cardiff,
Whitchurch.
yeah, that was a good one too.
Thailand. I should go for
It's all blocked up there, so you can't get in there. The medical side, yeah.
But you went up the town.
That's right. Yeah.
I see the moon.
You know another good one you did, which I was fucking pissing myself
5
watching.
degrees the other way around from the way.
The one when you went into the cinema.
Oh yeah, you blanked yourself.
That was
Yeah, but he walks into a room and they're having a function.
I was so fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it was a weird thing. It was great. I can sit you went through a children's party and you're like,
I was like, sorry,
excuse me.
sorry. I was like walked across the way the kids were playing, like in a little play area. I was like, sorry.
You gotta watch the scene where it's awesome.
It's like kids playing on the floor, and I'm just like stomping my feet on top of there, like, you know, sanitized play area.
Well, that's the trouble with bullshit.
Winning it. Nice on this side. Normally that tight.
Then you had the shit in there too, right?
I took the shit in there. I usually fit some places, but I'm not allowed to show whether you're not allowed to flush the toilet. But you're allowed to take any toilet paper because that's theft.
Really.
Theft of water, theft of electricity if you turn the light on, theft of tissue paper. So you have to take your own tissue paper. And as I said in one of the videos, I said, now, am I going to flush or not? You'll have to decide. And it's like, so I cut the camera there. Yeah, I flushed.
But Sonic
But-
was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. Someone to see that? Where he goes into the Sonic place, we look the stairs. That guy followed you though.
Well, he sort of knew I was up to something, but then I lost him.
And then he left.
Yeah.
My favourite one is
I went down into the basement, and I went up the lift to the top, so he could suss out where I'd gone. He was like, "Where's it gone?"
the underground base you went into. It's a huge one. Side Village.
Oh yeah, Burlington.
Yeah, Burlington.
Yeah, yeah.
And also that Manor Hatchy where you do the UFO. Was
They used to investigate UFOs.
yeah. The Manor Hatchy. And you were hiding from the security guard and it's gone.
Yeah.
That was I don't know. I suppose you do it so much, you just don't get. You don't have anxiety about it.
No, not at all.
It's
No,
like
it's good
you
fun.
know that people are just going to come and get off. It's not going to come. Apart from that time when them security guards running around, though.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna, I just say to people, you can shout at me as much as you like. It ain't gonna faze me. But if you're gonna piss me off and I'm gonna walk away from you, and if you try and grab me, I'll fucking punch you.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be your fault. I'll be defending myself.
What the thing was, the security guard, he was told didn't they understand they were on film? Saying stuff, they were clearly lying about it, but they were on film.
Yeah.
Don't get that logic.
That's not science, you see. That's science.
Get that.
There's like a platonic ideal science. I mean,
But yeah, they do lay it on a bit thick. I mean, people are nice to me and nice back. And at the end of the day, if they're trained security guards, they should juggle the law and just tell us to get out.
That's why I say that Dover Castle, the other part I watched the other night.
but you see,
The one where you was here,
the real world, it
and
doesn't
you
maintain its.
you went to that area where the prison area was, and that recruiting guys just after 19 leave. You know, fair enough. But some of them just got real chips on their shoulders.
Yeah.
It's like when it's weird.
But definitely, I don't know. I can surprise you all to getting more. Some of these like they are grown in.
Facial features much like
There's a Swedish guy as well exploring something. They're Swedish. They did this space shuttle. They went to that hangar and explored that.
across the town.
But I mean, they get a lot more recognition. But your stuff has two conversations. I don't understand why you don't get stereo. Maybe it's European and American thing is more.
I mean, I don't go for the hype.
Yeah.
The way they hype so much. And I mean, I just sometimes my dry sense of humour might be lost on some people.
Yeah,
like I just did the last one I just edited was a little bit of a piss takey because people were there watching me when I was editing it. I kept going over the top, and then somebody said, "Will you put my put sliding face in this one?" And I said, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
I'll say something, Mars.
Black goo.
Pint of black goo,
But
Mark.
if they have,
It's a stunt. It's got
sometimes they might have the local stunt on the list.
Yeah.
There's a London market. I'm still sort of like nursing this one, mate. Thanks for anyway. Good.
I'll have another one. Foster's with a dash of lime.
It's like science would be like if
You're having a laugh. Let's have another laugh.
You say whether it's courses and you think
So what have you got planned for 2020? That's explored.
Next what?
For next year.
Oh, I have no idea. I mean,
You just do it as it comes up.
just yeah, things that
So how did the come right?
Dan from Exploding Fighters had a spare seat in the car.
Stole an ice cream.
I said, "Do I want to come along?" And I wish I hadn't really done any research on it. I just knew French catacombs. I'd seen them, and I just thought, "Yeah, I'll go." And if I'd done any research, I would have probably realised I needed to get some sort of
Legitimate question. I thought a lot of people there were ill prepared and stuff. They didn't have readers. They didn't have proper hard hats or whatever. Because there was a lot of bending down, and I didn't realise that getting to catacombs would be so dangerous.
No, I didn't either. But I mean, a lot of the places that some of the catapults get in are restricted. They're like inside people's houses or on private property, and they can get in there. But for us to jump over,
Were they German, the people that needed it? Did they get welded in there?
they got welded in. Yeah, they went in an entrance and they came back a few hours later and they couldn't get out. It was welded shut. So it's welded shut.
There must be other ways out. There must be no other ways out.
There's loads of ways out, but I mean, some of them go into private residences and things like that. You know.
So you've got to know it inside out then.
Yeah. And the French are kind of a bit snooty and snobby. They don't really like other people being in their tunnels, sort of thing. Yeah. So I made. I mean, that woman with the I'm just my camera pointing, and she walks past it. She doesn't know she's on film, but she's like, decides she's going to.
So how did that make you feel down there? I mean, I saw that chair.
I just saw
thrown of boat.
I just saw it crawling through sewage. What the fuck is wrong with me? I don't want to doing this.
Well, them bones on the floor.
Yeah. I just thought it was a bit disrespectful to kind of want to be, you know, going having your photo taken and stuff. But you know,
Did it not make you feel weird, just in general?
I wasn't kicked out by it. I just thought it's kind of like me opening up a crypt, you know, it's in the back of a church. It's sort of like going, look, folks, there's some bones on the floor here. Let's have a photo taken next to them. It's, you know, it's
Something
sort
you
of on
think
that level.
you would do again?
I might do, but I would do it more well prepared. And to be honest, I think I'd probably just take this camera and have my hands free.
Actually, it's quite cool with this. When you put these videos up, I've got the video shield, and I can actually.
Oh, yeah.
Shield, I can look around.
Yeah.
Something look all
I got one of these as well, yeah, they're good.
Quite cool. Yeah, quite cool.
They shouldn't because
But no, I don't know. I just find that whole urbex thing fascinating. Yeah, I mean, I got into it just through like proper people. I mean, Dan Bell does stuff like that as well.
The lighthouse
He goes into like
is going to be
old houses
within about
that
20 or 30 years.
has murders and stuff. He'll do it. Do it like an explore. And then that guy's hooked up.
It basically is
Not so much now, but in the beginning, he was doing it like, in a real bad neighbourhood on his own. And it's like, you get like,
so they
drug dealers in there and stuff. It's like,
they had 3 runways.
I would have all seen that.
You are interacting.
Well, this is the thing, see, I mean, exploring with fighters a couple of times and come across people in like large mansions, and they've literally come out with blocks of wood and shit like that. You can't be here, you can't be here. It's like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're security, so prove it. I can prove it. You know, like
You came across some people in the medical side, didn't you? And you kind of called their bluff, and they were like, some guy was giving a tour, wasn't he? To some people.
You film that.
And you called their bluff a bit, and they're like, oh, God.
well, I met somebody and I was like, he was an explorer, and I'd never met him before, but apparently he was from Bristol, so he'd driven up. But yeah, that's the only thing I could think of.
So there is a kind of like a little bit of friction between people who explore.
No, I wasn't. There was no friction between me and him.
The green watermelons, they'll say that
You know, it's
Ryzen.
the thing I didn't like when we were there. You could hear screaming and smashing. It's obviously the kids going rampaging around the place, just smashing. Now that you know, I'm just like, why are you doing that? You know, and then the police got called, and the ambulance and fire services were there. And then they obviously came in and said, "Oh, it's my breath to get out of here." They left us alone.
Yeah.
Because we're not like this side, rampaging around the place.
Just documented.
I mean, like, why do the kids have to destroy buildings? I mean, that was a place. But then again, why did the NHS allow that place to be open like that for people to go in and rest? Well, should have boarded it all up and put security guards there.
Was it you that went to it was
Well, the East of
an
England.
old mental hospital, which was like a mansion, and there was all the patients' records in there. And it ended up putting on the news.
No, that wasn't me.
And they filmed it, and it was literally every single patient had been in this clinic. They had records of everyone in there. The company folded, a private company, and they just left all the records there. It ended up on the news, and 3 months later, they went back and filmed it again, and the records were stolen. They had
No.
I think they'd come and destroy them, burn them,
So they've been
destroy them.
Well, I would have thought that that would have come under the auspices of either the local council or the NHS, to, even though it's not their building, to say we can't allow somebody's medical records to be out there in the wild. We have to take these. Yeah, they must just pick them and destroy them if necessary.
There was so many, and it's just like, I think to myself, it's like when you find stuff like that,
I know
it's like,
it was like when
that's not cool.
I think
It just shows how negligent they are. And they,
Yeah.
oh, we're not making money out of this anymore. I can just leave it. Ship them all out, and let's just be on our way.
Well, if the company folded, then you had to blame the receivers who dealt with the receivership because they were in charge of the building.
Kind of sad as well.
Stuff in there.
But some of this, I mean, I don't know what it is about the urbex thing. I just love it. I just love watching it. I don't know. I don't
Just
know.
goes to show how much stuff is out there that people have been living in. You know, and of course, the people who own these big buildings, they don't want to touch it because it means they've got to spend millions to do anything to them.
Well,
to
like,
repair them. So they go, well, tough then. I'll just go move into a flat and you can have this building rot.
The guy,
But there's no leniency. It's like, no, it's black and white. This building must not be touched unless it's done properly. And nobody can afford to do it, so they just let it go. Like castles go.
we have an old
Mansions
Victorian
go.
pier which is built in the 1800s, like a little pier, we were actually one of the
He's one
bands
of
to
the
play
inwards
it.
there, so-
And guys bought it for a small win or something.
Yeah.
And
But then took on the responsibility.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what he's doing, because this is building, he's waiting for it to fall out.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to develop it. It's like,
Reeves, not
okay,
One line minute.
thank
you.
Thank you.
Who is this producer? Or Michael? Did he do this one? That's got to be the man of the year. This is Hypocrite. I don't know if it's the right one.
That's talk to Tino about that.
Yeah.
He knows all about that.
T-shirt, I should show you it.
Tino,
I've got the T-shirt.
Tino,
All right.
Oh yeah, that's a bit light.
Tino, cable free, Miles, he wants to know.
Yeah, Miles.
When's it going to be released?
He's still doing new stuff. He will be for a while.
I told Matthew why it's big taking so long. I simply
Fucking
use
Apple Max.
Yeah, Matthew doesn't.
Yeah, he's
have
an Apple
any-
Mac man, yeah.
He doesn't have any strong views about that.
Yeah, well,
There's nothing wrong with Macs, man. They're at least they're computers, unlike those.
Thank you. Thank you.
Microsoft.
he'll take.
No, I blame the users. If the users didn't buy them, they wouldn't exist.
No, the Macs are not mere
We might have something
adversaries
before,
like
but
Windows.
efficient.
Windows was named because of the things you throw your
We've got a couple
computer
of bits to
down.
still do.
Aren't Apple Macs selling practically
It's just Gary's
Windows Intel running
And the
computers?
tell you about
No,
They're actually made out of cheaper components.
No,
no, they're
that's it.
all
Unix
Apple Macs are made of Tesla technology. Actually, it really
That's just the operating system. It's just a PC laptop.
No one's thinking.
when you run Windows using Boot Camp
I'll
on a
finish
Mac,
off,
it
put it on my
works much
channel.
better
It
than it
does,
does
it
on
does.
PC.
We hope you like
If
it.
it works really well, it's going to be worth waiting. In fact, the Mac is the best Windows PC available.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I've recently
It'll be the
upgraded.
most relaxed area you've ever seen.
And I
What do you think about that? It's going to use completely, not like.
pretty much all the time there's updates to do. On the
You're not see on the top of the Guinness
He
here.
put it in there for you.
It's like, why? Why so many updates? And it just practices.
You're not going to like this one. You might want to film this one. Right. So on the Apple Macs, right? Ben Elton was on stage the other night in Salisbury. Do you know what he said about Apple? He said, "I'm fucking glad Tim Cook's dead." Literally said that on stage.
With Windows 8. Now, Windows 8 is
Like,
Steve Jobs.
but it never crashes.
Steve Jobs. Yeah, but him as well. Yeah, him too.
Microsoft don't even car.
He said Windows 8 was great.
It was,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Never crashed.
agree?
It was fucking
Windows 8.
Wow.
It never crashes. Windows 10 for me crashes all the time.
I don't actually believe that. Not sorry.
I'm still on Windows 3.
There were lots of troubles with
Windows 7.
Yes.
I got Windows 7 as well. The problem is, I'm not going to install some of my new laptop because they're not. When somebody plays me on my laptop, you know, security patches.
Well, now's the time to install Windows 10 because they.
Windows 10, yeah, but
Yeah, but no, if you've got it already, reinstall it. Because version 13 is out. And you don't have to do the update anymore because Microsoft conceded they were wrong.
because
It's breaking too many things.
yeah, every time I update something doesn't work.
Yeah.
Why?
It's definitely empty
It's
now.
because you're not using a Mac.
And you get
The alcove was almost empty.
I went over to Linux for a while.
Linux is good.
But
There you
the problem is, I use Photoshop and Windows emulation on the Linux is not. I just don't get on with it.
Some of them artificial.
So
some
because I can't use
some of them
Photoshop
recent,
properly.
some of them ancient.
on the Linux.
Use the GIMP. It's free. And all the other things.
Nearly every version of bits of software that comes out on an Apple, you've got 10.1, 10.1.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.3.5, 10.4, 10.4.5, 10.5. There's been about 15 operating systems in the last 10 years. And when you change from one to the next, you can't use your old software on the new one. It just doesn't work. Whereas you can get a piece of software now and it'll work for the last 20 years.
Here we go. They said you're
Misinformation, but hang on.
No,
It's totally related.
not every piece of software, but a lot of them.
No,
They just go, sorry.
all your software is compatible. The only time it stopped being incompatible was the latest version. OS 10
basically, you just got
can't believe that because it's
and
disallowing
takes it into
32-bit
bespoke
apps.
tailor.
This is the first time
And
in
he
20
says,
years that it's
"My
happened.
normal
only
RTX
64
is
bit.
I've only
I've installed upgrades to operating systems and the old software. We put it in on disk and it's gone, sorry, you can't use the
Put
software.
it on
When
disk.
you
What is
do
this?
Disk, and we've downloaded updates and it just
On
goes
disk?
Where you do
Who the fuck uses
Disk,
disk?
disk as well. You can download it. You can take it and it just goes. What about the Safari saying if you don't update this operating system, you can't use Safari? The most basic of basic of browsers.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree.
It's the first one of the night.
This won't come in.
I mean, it's like warning you, sorry, you can't go on the internet soon if you don't update your browser. And then everything's around the browser and everything runs on Safari. So once that stops working,
Hang on. Go on, Danny, give us your opinion. Are you happy with your Mac?
Everything you say, nothing like that ever happened to me. I've been using Mac since 2002.
so you can use the first version of Final Cut Pro
Goes
on
there,
the new
it's
machine
scratch
now. Or let's not say the latest one.
Because that will be
But,
PowerPC.
no, when Final Cut
He
Pro
goes in there and he
for the
says,
OS X came out,
to a tailor.
you reckon you can use the first version from OS X 10.0?
Because that would be PowerPC.
The man who does it goes,
Architecture. I switched from PowerPC.
Yeah. Okay, once we get to the Intel generation, you reckon Final Cut will work on Intel, no problem, all along.
Not on the latest OS. No.
north of the border.
Cameras
the one and all. It's all.
Yeah, not on the latest.
You can do that.
It's one of the applications now. It's
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I've gone to people's houses to try and get them updated on stuff, and we've had the noodles of problems to the point where it's like, well, it says no, you cannot use your old version of software. Well, we got a new version, but you have to.
Thank you for joining us to the Emlyn debate.
You have to buy.
Today we're going to be discussing.
Yes.
It's the Apple Mac podcast.
This is the Apple Mac podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. There, Mr. Matthew Williams, he's going to be discussing why Apple sucks. He's obviously nuded on this Mac. Go ahead.
LewisRossman.com.
Who's that?
Lewis Rossman is the guy who repairs Apple stuff that Apple say cannot be repaired. Like a 50-cent component that'll repair a 400 quid motherboard. You take it back to Apple, can't be repaired. Got to be a new machine.
No.
You know, and it will not repair, and they won't allow the schematics out. Now that guy repairs Apples all day long. He shows people for free how to repair them. Do you know what he says? He says it's the crappiest hardware. It's the cheapest, dirtiest, crappiest hardware I've ever seen in my life. They've taken the conformal coating off. Louis Rossman.
Yeah, Louis Rossman, the twat.
Yeah. Yeah. Louis Rossman eat my face. Yeah, but the thing is, the guy says, I fix these all day long. These are trash. I wouldn't use one.
Take lots of food.
What's your opinion,
Miles?
Well, what do you use to edit your videos?
Windows 3.1.
I use bespoke handmade PC computers with Optimum software, and I have unfortunately I have to Adobe. I use Adobe. It's such an expensive software. I've only got one machine I can afford to use with that software still on it.
Until I pirated it for him.
Shut up. Ixnay on the pirated,
I've written to Adobe and said, you're a bunch of thieving bastards, and I'm not paying any more for your software, and I'm pirating it now. And I tell all my friends to pirate it too, because you put your price up, and you took the features out. Yeah? You took features out. Right, DVDs, these things that people put in machines, they've got a thing called Dolby Digital. You took it out. You took it out and you put the price up. You know, new graphics cards are coming out, so you support the new graphics cards, you stop the support for the old graphics card. Well, what? I was just supposed to throw all this shit away because Adobe have a little whim. They're just not going to support this shit anymore. And I've got to spend 500 quid now on a new graphics card that's only 2 years old because Adobe don't want to support it anymore. And you want more money for this.
I've got a solution to your problem. Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
Use Windows Movie Maker.
Oh, that's terrible.
Just use that.
Awful. I mean, you've got Davinci bloody software now. That's free. You know.
Yes, easy, mate.
So Adobe have got some competition now.
It's a company that's open source. Yeah?
It's not open source. It's free. So if you want to buy the professional edition, which has the new service panels, then it's you have to pay for it. That's just Windows. So that do everything that you need. It'll color correct, like better than Final Cut Pro, but it is a bit
but it's free.
wanky to use. The interface is a bit.
I mean, you can't open it.
Yeah.
You can't get it.
So I know whether they charge you a license, and then if you don't pay the license, you don't.
Cuts off, yeah.
Yeah, you can't. It's connected up via the internet, doesn't it?
And they penalise you. It does penalise you if you don't pay a subscription, and then you've got to pay it monthly. They won't let you do it. Yeah. And then if you ring them up, they'll kind of go, "Oh well," and if you wait to the end of the month, suddenly it'll work again. But it penalise you. If you didn't pay on time, you can't just repay them. To get it back going. No, penalisation.
Couldn't get multi-platform.
And you know what they do? They don't tell you when you buy the software.
You
But,
can get,
and then
tell you
eventually
your subscription has gone up. It's just your project won't load. And it says error in project. It doesn't say
So
your subscription.
does it save your project code
had to continue
locally, or does it
file.
on the cloud?
No, it's local.
Local. So, yeah,
And right
basically dot com.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell you. If you have to put your license, go and check it out. It goes, files out, it's damaged. The project is damaged. Yeah. And then it's running, it crashes and crashes and crashes. Yeah. And if you, so it's like, so when you said how much stress and how many blood tears are being wasted, people think their files have disappeared.
They should do one version.
what do you use to edit?
Well, I still have a Windows 7 machine with Adobe CS5 on,
Alright.
and I use that to make DVDs and do basic editing. But I paid Adobe like $2 to $3 grand in monthly fees for a
When I started recording, it's like it's on 24 seconds. 26 seconds, that's weird.
And the formation of water and the special qualities of peat water within the earth, which when it comes up as surface water, has a spiral, bipolar spiral energy field, which is why it's like a homogenic energy, which is why it's called heating water. This is water made deep within the earth, which comes up and then mixes with surface water and then behaves normally after it. Oil is an intelligent, conscious.
How do you know this?
Because oil, the Russians don't deplete their oil wells completely dry. So what they do is they use a lot of it and then they cap it off. And they go back to it a few years later, and they find the oil well has filled up again.
Yeah.
But anybody anybody knows anything about oil is that every oil well is different.
You would
Got a different chemical composition. So if it's filled up with new oil or oil from somewhere, they discovered that Siberian oil wells were refilling with oil which came from South America or had the same chemical composition as oil found in the southern hemisphere. So somehow oil in the southern hemisphere was able to go through some process to end up with oil in Siberia.
Economically,
So the Iranians find that a lot of their oil, a substantial proportion, an increasing proportion of their oil, was not refinable. And they couldn't put it back in the ground, so they just dumped it in the desert. But then Russian, I've spoken with a man who actually
the problem is
personally experienced this. He got rumours, he heard that some sort of effects on waves,
I lost money
sort
on
of tidal functions were happening to this wasted oil.
when they were
And so he went up to it,
600
and the oil came up,
I don't know if
actually towards them, up and went all around, surrounded them, and he just stood there, wondering what the hell was going on.
So beam me up, Captain.
Beam me up, Captain.
Yeah.
So he took the pen to see what they just put the pen into the oil, and he took the pen out of the oil, and it was spotlessly clean. In other words, it wasn't like crude oil, but what has made this thing up? And then he put his finger in it.
So
And his
Oh, big mistake, man. When you're surrounded by a load of oil, that's the last thing you want to do.
was completely spotlessly clean.
It didn't stick.
It didn't stick.
It didn't stick.
And then he had a conscious
it's actually gone bearish.
communication
So what happened
with this
So when Bitcoin
oil. And it basically said, we are here to clean up your mess.
So use more oil.
One's
Sponsored by BP.
So
Yeah.
what he found was everywhere where this oil went was left spotlessly clean, like dragon.
But I've got two.
So essentially the message is that humanity is either part of the problem in which case the oil will clean us up as part of the problem. The consciousness of the oil. Or we become part of the solution. And after that basic conversation, the oil split, went back down and moved back into the lake. And since then, the area's been cordoned off.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, so when you hear these, when you hear these stories, I just got to bring this up.
So this oil, that's terrestrial intelligent, so-called black goo. It's a consciousness is found in oil. Right? Okay. That's where the black goo is in goo. Right? The stuff that was found in Falklands, that was that the British got during the Falkland War. The Royal Navy had 3 ships, one submarine full of special forces, Royal Marines, SAS, and Special Boat Service, and they went on the Thule Island, which is in the South Georgia, where all this stuff started. And the Thule Island was a World War II, before World War II, submarine refueling base for the German Antarctic facilities. So that's been used by the Germans for a long time. But we know in the 1930s that the Germans were researching oil that came out of meteor deposits in the southern hemisphere, which some of them were in Argentina and those areas. So they were refining an oil which came out of a deposit of black rock in the southern hemisphere. So they knew that there had been, and a lot of us published in Nexus magazine, but like you and David Griffin did the initial research on this, and in which case there was more. One of the things they actually kept quiet about that was that there were more areas of the planet where this shower of meteors, roughly about 10,000 years ago, came down. So the basic premise is that this is rock from the planet which used to be, which had its own oil in the asteroid belt. So whatever that planet was, deposits from whatever was there have ended up here. The oil has contains a consciousness which basically uses the materials of a planet to take consciousness to build long chain molecules and biological molecules in combination with salty water. The deep ocean, the oil, this black goo will emanate and create long chain molecules, which creates the fundamental building blocks of organic life on this world. So we're built from organic materials created for this world, this time-space field, whatever this planet is.
I have a question.
So the point was, just to finish it, was the Royal Marines Special Boat Service found 400, at least 400 interlocking crates of this stuff in Thule Island, kept cold in a blue ice. In Antarctica, in that part of the world, there's a special kind of ice. They don't know what it is, but you can't analyze it. And every time they try to analyze it, it disappears. It keeps it at minus 20 degrees. And they did that. They took all the British Army took all the stuff out of the storage laboratory area, stuck it into the container ship. The Special Boat Service and everybody got off, and then he blew the living hell out of the place. Destroyed. There was a base there on the surface, which was a scientific weather station. That was completely destroyed. That was done by the Marines. And the base, the place where all this stuff was kept, was completely destroyed. Now this stuff was 400 crates of this stuff. They put it in a container ship, brought it back to here. They then tried weaponizing it as super soldier material. In the British military gave it to that. Those scientists who tried weaponizing it all committed suicide, and that's all in the newspapers. And then the rest of it was given to Boots Labs, the chemist.
But now selling it as a moisturizer.
Yeah,
sorry.
They couldn't use it. So what they did was the supplies that they were given, they just poured down the drain.
But it wouldn't go down the drain. They tried pouring it down the drain. It was like, no, I'm not going down the drain.
Don't read.
That's the basic narrative.
Gist of it.
That's the basic gist of it.
Well, I have a two-part question.
Let's
actually.
get 2 part.
My first question is: do you think the black
Can I get some of what you're on?
is we see it in Central and also we see it in the X-Files. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My second question is that if I was interviewing someone who said they were a super soldier,
I just found that.
no, I'm not being pedantic, I'm just being honest. If it were me, okay, the first thing I would say was, okay, jump over that house.
The term super soldier is an incorrect term that none of the people who are super soldiers actually like. But if you wanted like to have a paragraph explaining what the abilities are, you could do it that way. But what these so-called super soldiers are exposed to is a means of obtaining extraordinary abilities from other life forms, so they can use that within their bioenergetic
Have
field.
you witnessed any of those abilities?
I have, and I've talked to a few people who are able to do it.
Can they impregnate women just by looking at them?
No, that's just sick, perverted people.
Okay, how do we get that horn up?
Okay. If they look at a whole room of women, they're not all going to like become instantly pregnant.
No, that's only for Jesus Christ.
You know when they destroyed they thought they destroyed all this stuff, yeah, and the SAS they threw bombs at it, yeah, and tried to blow it up. You know, you always know there's always going to be one dog that's going to escape across the ice and get to the next camp. Yeah, the thing. You should know this,
Russell.
Yeah.
The basic problem we have about this so-called alien black goo is it's come from somewhere else. It makes its own life forms, and it's different to the life that we have here. And it's a very serious problem. Very serious. But like all intelligent consciousness, if you engage with it in the correct way, this stuff killed the things which wanted to make it into a hostile killing force. So that's a good thing, because they didn't. This stuff didn't want to be weaponized to kill people, and the people who are making it kill people kill those people.
I have a question. So, everything you're saying, they don't know legal, but they would be ways. And I know you mentioned earlier that you talk to lots of people and you take on all this information.
Well, some of the guy who blew the place up told me something.
It's true. No, I understand. You interview these people.
He was very sick. A lot of people get very sick.
No, I get it. Now, you're talking to all these people, you're getting this information. You personally, out of all the information you get, how much are you like, wow, this is real, or this guy's fucked up in the head?
Well, if you want to look what's happening right now, you're having a technology called 5G, which is going to communicate with everything, control every aspect of your life, have nanotechnology imprinted into your. Have you seen the MRI scans of people with eyes that don't have optically?
But you haven't answered my question.
I don't believe anything. Just look what's happening.
No, I know, but there's certain things like don't get me wrong. These kind of topics, I fucking love it. Right? Don't believe it, but there's some stuff that I'm like, well, that sounds very possible to me. And there's some stuff
if you keep walking across the road and get one of our,
where do you draw that line where you some stuff you take on board and some stuff you dismiss?
Well, I've decided to take on board that IVF treatment was not designed to make infertile couples fertile. That's IVF treatment was created to make transgenic beings.
You work for the Labour Party?
That is I'm telling you, the very first topic, that we discovered, and Matthew, this guy Barry King, about making aliens in labs in Berkshire.
And I thought he was nuts.
Yes.
Wait.
I thought he was completely nuts, Barry King. And
mental.
Well, I thought, that
We had a discussion about
great claims require great proof. And the basic line I drew was, I didn't know this guy, and he didn't know me. I met him, I chatted to him. He said he's getting beaten up all the time for talking about his underground alien genetic experiences that he's had, where he's been involved in this program. And they beat him up because they don't want him talking about it. So I said, well, okay then, can I speak to your wife? So she can tell me that she's seen you come home being beaten up. And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, see ya. You know what I mean? It's like one opportunity to prove what you're saying, and you just go, no.
What about the dog play story? Did he put out a dog?
Do you genuinely believe?
it's all stories. That's the point. Is it's just stories on stories on
Do you
stories.
think that Phil Schreider actually killed himself, or was he killed?
One at a time.
Because he
Okay.
One at a time.
I just said I don't believe anything. And if you keep walking across the road and get run up, I don't believe you. I don't
You must have formed an
believe.
opinion.
You know, when you get in a car and switch on the engine, you believe that the car's engine is going to work, so you drive on. I mean, that doesn't mean you have to know how it works.
Right.
You can take it to ridiculous limits. We're now in a stage. We're now in a stage where we're bombarded with cyborgs, organic cyborgs, nanotechnology devices implanted in people's brains.
Yeah.
It's public statements by scientists from 2045.com.
What you said isn't as simple as a
Human
car
beings.
issue.
Sorry?
What you just said isn't as simple as a car issue.
And
You're saying things that are very hard.
you come to me.
So
And I'm not saying
Barry King's basic statements was they're making aliens in labs in bases in England.
One of the
that's
And
not
that was
simple
based
to say.
on technology imported from Germany.
the
If you then study the way that what happened after World War II, A, we didn't win it. B, there was a secret intelligence agency which has control of virtually all of government
values that go to a grand man
in key areas,
society.
independent information on that level. We now know that Project Paperclip de facto was a German invasion of America, which they then set up their main headquarters.
Yeah.
They infiltrated at much higher levels, taking control of major aspects of American government, and set up a center for government, what we now call Area 51.
It's just polluted and lit.
There are areas
And it goes
currently,
against the deep intrinsic core.
elements of that currently, as we speak, being taken out, and America's beginning to take control of their country. We have a national health service which was set up at the time after World War II to monitor genetically every single person on this in this country. We had the agricultural industry established during the war to essentially to commence demineralization of all the food baskets on the planet. We have a situation where all aspects of organic life are now under threat from 5G, and we now have this pathological psychopathic group called Extinction Rebellion, who are determined to wipe all organic life out. They are targeting the carbon dioxide molecule as the most evil thing possible. Carbon dioxide is the molecule of life. Every single hydrocarbon, every single life form on this planet needs it. And you've now got an organization fighting and targeting against it. By definition, that means an inorganic life form is targeting the fundamental basics of organic life on this planet. And we're talking billions are going to die within the next 5 fucking years.
It must be a silicon life form based conspiracy.
You know, Miles,
They're trying to take over the planet.
So,
Is it-
if-
you need an Iron Man suit. That's what you
If Barry King says they're making aliens in a lab in Berkshire, and the fundamental technology devised to do that is IVF treatment for use by us with our created life forms on the lunar base. That's our lunar base, so-called lunar base. That's the basis of IVF treatment. And Portland Down and these labs are making this stuff. And you're reanimating people, and you've got people with implants in their heads and their eyes removed, and being remotely controlled.
So what do you think about all this, like the Nazi footage that has never been released of Hitler having won the war?
Split face right there.
That's obviously
That face right there.
So you know you've obviously seen
Right there.
You've obviously seen all this like Nazi footage of like how Hitler won the war, and anybody, yeah, and like you know, it's showing them overrunning America, the Nazis overran America, and it's like all this black and white footage. Yeah, but if you upload it anywhere on the internet, it just gets taken down immediately. I mean, like, so is that real? Then they actually won the war, or is this a parallel dimension? It's a parallel dimension thing.
It's like
So I've never really gone.
That's a bad castle.
That's the slot.
No, they just took that storyline from the truth.
We are the truth. Number
So we're slipping in and out of different pipelines.
That's a different thing.
That's true. So let me bring up a different subject.
I believe everything I see on television.
Next July, Roswell, New Mexico.
Yes.
Anniversary. They have a big, they have a big festival.
I'd love to. If you want to sponsor me.
Come in. We're going. You come in.
What's the response?
Good. Have a good time. Enjoy it. You want to come? Come on. We'll see. We're great.
Ben's going.
Listen.
I'm staying here. So
Ben has no interest in Roswell. He never mentioned he's
going. No.
Tell the organisers to give Miles a medal for services towards ufology, right? He'll be out there. He'll come.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. We'll go.
Certificate.
Miles. We'll bring the king. We'll bring the king. King faces Texas.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Fucking Texas.
King.com.
Faces Texas.
I can always say
King.com.
That guy's great.
Kingdom.com.
Dude, his videos are the best. It's like a fucking train wreck watching them. They're so great. They're so fucking great. Because they're so bad. They're great.
Well, that's what entertainment's all like. If you want to get YouTube hits, that's what you got to do.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's actually true.
That's television. Television.
So did he reach out to you and say, I'm making a base in Texas, what do you think?
Well, we are basically
You see when he's in the corner drinking his fucking beer?
Yeah,
That's so great.
fucking great.
Yeah. Well, they're on.
He's got his style.
And he picks up his beer. He's like,
That's
this is Tomas Johnson and the fucking Pacers. Phenomenal. It's fucking phenomenal.
That's his MO.
That's great.
Everybody has his acting.
That's his style.
That's great.
how many subscribers has he got?
Just two.
Really?
I know.
I don't know.
I don't know how many he's got.
Well, that's going to be the one when I unsubscribe later on.
Have you seen his videos? Oh, dude, they're great. They're fucking great. Yeah, they're so awesome. So what's
Barry
next?
King's awesome as well, but I mean in a way that like the Matrix documents were awesome, but you couldn't, I couldn't differentiate whether real or fantasy. And then somebody comes along saying this shit's all real.
No, but are you talking
then
about?
people
Sorry.
Barry's-
No,
oh, sorry.
we need to qualify this. Are you talking about the Matrix things?
Matrix
published
files.
by,
Yeah, Val Valerian.
Val Valerian. That was John Lear.
John
Well,
Lee.
he was part of it. It wasn't
Yeah.
directed.
Who is John Lee?
With John Lee, right? You went to his pad and hung out with
I've
him.
done with this man several times. He might have been wrong the last time.
Yeah.
So,
Much to the extreme annoyance of Perry.
yeah, now listen. I just want to do a serious question.
Serious.
Gary Cassidy. Project Camelot. Do you think this was a positive addition or a negative addition
Or somewhere
to the?
between.
Or,
She's a positive addition because she's highlighting lots of interviews. You don't have to agree with every interview. It's like printing a newspaper. You print a newspaper doesn't mean you are backing every single subject.
yes.
Personally,
Yes.
I think Terry has gone overall eye on Captain Mark Richards as a single source of information.
But he was never a captain, apparently.
Well, whatever he's called.
And this is a whole murder thing going on.
Yeah, well, we all know that.
Rich, what's his name? He's making a documentary, isn't he?
No, but we know that. The guy was thrown in jail, people died, there was a court case.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant.
Maybe
Really.
later.
I just can't place this weird and keep calling him captain.
Whatever.
But I just think that I don't know. Project Camelot
Basic,
with-
it's not the messenger, is the information valid. There's no real way of determining if the information is valid or not valid. It's just
So-
information. That's it.
Why did they part ways?
Pardon?
What's his name? Bill Ryan and Kerry. Why did they part ways? 'Cause-
For no personal reasons.
so it wasn't a falling out over what they.
Well, whatever they did, they parted. That was it. And that's between Bill and her.
Because Bill went on to do his own thing, didn't he?
Yeah, and he did a very
Project
good
Albion.
Avalon.
Avalon. Yeah, that's right.
And they provided a very important research forum for people to
And what's your thoughts on Dr. Stephen Greer and charging like
Dr. Stephen Greer came to this country with dangerous material, which he played to a public audience in London, and he encouraged teenagers and children to download an app to listen to that thing. And that was and people who listened to that noise.
So you had to buy an app.
No, people who listened to that noise subsequently reported horrific nightmares of death, destruction, murder, and trauma.
So like a
whatever was in that noise induced people to have horrific nightmares in whatever way that noise, that screeching thing had. And that is nefarious. It's in the public domain. It should not be allowed. He's gone on a public platform, done something which causes serious psychological harm to people who have reported. This has been reported.
You're only going to hear the bad stories. Are you going to hear the positive ones? I mean, if you took every single person that downloaded it and gave them a review, it's like Google, isn't it? You only see the bad reviews. You don't see people going, I downloaded this, it was wonderful.
I know, but it wasn't, this was something
and this was an app.
in the public.
This was an app. That app should have reviews on it, because you can review an app. It should do, unless of course there's a conspiracy behind why it wouldn't have the real reviews.
Well, I don't know nothing more other than that
Unless it was on his website and it's an APK file and he downloads it via. But then again, you'd have to have root control over your phone to do it, and your kids wouldn't be able to do that, really.
I mean, you've got to be careful. You can't show flashing images to some people because, of course, epilepsy. If you some suggestible people,
initially
you talk to them. Imagine if he encoded like aliens into white noise, right? Some people are going to get freaked the fuck out. It's nothing to do with him. It's just like they just don't want that. They're not ready for it,
My understanding is it was a message. It was a thing like a screeching digital, squeaking noise, which had some kind of data. And I think that is nefarious and bad news. Shouldn't be done in front of.
So do you think he started out with...
he started out with immensely good intentions, and like a lot of people started with intentions.
Because he did content disclosure.
He did the disclosure thing, and I helped publicise that way back in 2000. And I'm actually named in the one of the books as a contributor. And that was a very important thing to break that year 2000. That was a big thing.
It's always been a bit of an exclusive club for people who've got thousands of pounds to come on, let's shine lasers and the Horizon thing.
This people coming to Wiltshire and places in tour groups. Those are adults with their own money going to have entertainment or thrill, and that's up to them, and that's between the tour guide and the people who spend their money, and that's up to them.
So where is the current ufological conspiracy? Where is it at the moment? Because I think it's an absolute mess. Everyone hates everyone. Everyone's falling out with everyone. So where is it?
All of the UFO groups were taken over by the intelligence services very early on.
So
some of them were set up by the intelligence services, particularly the United States. It's well known that before's helpline number or reporting number went straight to MI5. So that has collapsed. Before and the
where's the evidence of that?
You did a lot of lectures in UFOs.
I've never heard that before. That number went straight to MI5. I mean, my number goes straight to MI5. Your number goes straight to MI5, not just before her. Oh, come on. The amount of people you're telling stuff about on the internet, do you think then somebody's not listening in on you? They're thinking one day Miles is going to go postal, like me, buy a load of weapons and shoot everything up because we're unstable. That's the way we would be considered. They monitor us for instability.
The intelligence service should be monitoring the likes of you and me, Matthew, if they were doing their job. They should be doing.
And this is what I've always said. It's not about me breaking into Redlow Manor. It's the fact that I can do it, and then it makes us more secure.
No, you did break it.
We didn't. We've never done that.
There was votes.
Yeah.
So you didn't
Matthew, I don't want to comment on your nocturnal activities. I think that would be wrong.
Well, this is how they describe Matthew Williams. Matthew Williams broke into Redlow Manor. Matthew Williams films it, puts it on the internet. So if there's any breaking in, it'll be on the video, won't it? Yeah.
The window was open. Yeah. They should secure it better. With maybe metal or something, weld it shut.
It's like when I worked in customs and excise in Cardiff. There no alarms in the building, and you could walk in any time of the day or night and help yourselves to all the files.
You know what? I thought that today. When I got on the train today, I was one of these.
Everybody was honest with what he did.
They thought nobody would have the balls to come in and do it.
I got one of those online tickets where you train, so it's on your phone, okay, like a PDF.
Yeah.
And I got on the train today. No one challenged me or anything. I travelled from to London. No, it's literally.
So why should it have to challenge you? Do you expect every single person to be challenged? and
I
everything
expect if I pay money and buy a ticket, I expect someone to say,
Let's say what's going on now.
because
Well, what they do is they operate the thing
and
called
actually saying that.
honesty principle.
And
If
at
you
the other
are
end,
found,
then I have to
if
show
when questioned and you don't have the ticket, you will be put
Yes.
tied to the wheels just beside the brake pads, and then you will experience discomfort. And
Actually, I was thinking that I had.
and I would say, rightly so.
Yeah, that's
Yes, in through the main doors on the right.
If you're one of the poor people, you can just use the outside door.
Some empty glasses, yeah. To pee in. Sorry.
But it was rather like
Fill it up. Somebody probably down it later on. They'll go, this is not a very good alcohol content in here.
this is a bit sour.
This is like bloody Brainsbury in Cardiff. See, when I went to customs exercise, they had to tell us their secret ingredient. So we went there and they said, right, we don't tell the public this, but because you're customs exercise, we have to disclose it, our secret ingredients. And our secret ingredient is salt
In what?
in their beer.
That's what
Yeah.
makes you.
So it makes it taste salty and it makes you drink more. That was the secret ingredient, was salt. And I was like, really? That's why it tastes shit in beer. Yeah, in Brain's beer. It's shit.
I like Brains.
Which beer?
It tastes like vomit, that's the salt.
Yeah, but if you're already drunk and you're drinking it,
Yeah, well, I wasn't. Yeah.
you're not going to know, are you?
Sorry, Brains Brewery, I've revealed everything. So the secret to Coca-Cola.
Still into those
Well, that's
old.
pretty violent. You know? It's so.
You're not talking about the beer, are you?
You got to be careful how much salt you drink in a day, because 5 grams of salt enough to kill you.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, salty. 5 salt grams directly wash it back with a bit of water. You might be lucky to stay alive.
Since I turned 50,
I think we might have a bigger table.
I put in
I,
put quite a lot of
better
salt.
seats.
where?
Come in, is it? Yeah, he's okay.
Let's move on. Don't tell anybody else.
Yeah. We ain't stopping filming because we're 360 bitches.
Yeah, sure. Well, are we moving?
Oh,
We're going apparently.
you can't grab it because you've got 2 hands. Well, I'll grab it with my 5 hands then.
Or shall I grab it?
Is everyone got
No, Miles, don't grab that. You can grab my pint, but don't grab that. Yeah.
I can't.
Bring the tomato sauce in. Yeah.
I think they found a. Oh,
So, Ben. Hello. You don't need a stabilizer with this because it's a 360 stabilized.
Oh, the stabilizers.
Yeah, look.
Thank you. Where's my?
We know all about.
It's stabilized, and it doesn't matter which way you point it.
I think someone's got it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, isn't it? I mean,
You can film with one side or that side.
Well, you may have noticed with my.
No matter if I do this, it's still going to be. It's pointing in that direction. No matter which way I point it, it's still pointing in that direction.
I remember we discussed the stabilizers before, and I tell you what, you may have noticed that I am now using a more, the stuff, the one, because of my new camera.
Yeah.
It's much more stable than it used to be, the old one.
Yeah.
So it's a Sony camcorder, but it's a newer one, much newer.
Yes, but having a stabilizer on board, you're still going to jog up and down with your arm.
I do a little bit, yeah, I do.
Yeah. So
Oh, nice warm.
I was going to have a chat with you about it in a bit, but yeah.
Sure. Oh, nice. This is a ton. Oh, yeah, very good.
Which are moving. Which one is mine?
I don't know what's going on.
No.
I absolutely don't know.
No.
That's right, right?
Yeah, that's fine then. But I'm going for a whiz.
Move.
All right.
That's all right.
I'll be right back.
Ready?
Oh, you're going to put it over there, yeah?
Well, that ink is every time.
Oh, which one is it?
So what's your Tino? Sorry, Tino De Laurentiis.
Not quite.
Yeah. I'll have to ask you about this Capel Green thing.
Well, I can only say so much, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, because I understand that, because my comments on his
them.
thing, And then you contact him and say, no, it is going ahead because you're part of the production, is it?
Yes.
Right, well, I didn't realise, but yeah, I've seen so many of these things in the past that have not come to fruition. That's why I said it. I was like, well, I've heard a lot about it, but is it actually happening or is it not happening? Yeah.
But we've got 4 copies of that. What come out?
What you mean is out?
No, we're still editing it.
Ah, right, okay.
I'll tell you something. What's the difference between the chair and the yogurt? Take your original. You leave the yogurt for touching me over years, it develops a culture.
Oh, burn! Burn!
Yeah, I'd say that's probably
Burn!
that'd trigger all those gun nuts, wouldn't it?
It always goes to there.
Absolutely. Whatever.
Oh, I think it's been. Is your shiny? Did you get? Might be.
There's 2.
Yeah, I did. I don't know which is which though. I don't know if this is mine or not. Is it?
Nice, just ask for cider.
There is a side, yeah.
The reason I know it's
Mystery.
the reason why nobody's there is because
Got to do while you're eating. Tell me if this is bad or not.
What?
I was going to do my impression of American accent.
Yeah, let's do it. I love accents. Let's go.
Well, I start in New England, and I go to New England. I park in the car,
I can't
and
be
then
bad.
I make my way a bit south, and I go to New York.
New York, right?
Standing my dog's tail and making spill my coffee, and then make my way a little bit south. We go to places like Louisiana and places like that. And then I make my way down to Texas, and I take a gun, and then I make my way to California, dude. Then I go up to the Midwest. You guys have a bathroom around here?
You alright? Well,
There's no bad things.
I love accents. I love accents.
You do a lot of regional.
I love regional accents. Like starting like right now, you know that.
I'll have you know that I have no idea what she was talking about. See, the important thing that you're not doing is you see, you're moving your lips and you're moving your teeth. The only way that you can talk properly is to talk in your head. It's the sort of thing, if you wanted to say, how are you? I hope you're having a nice day. You are chilled with fear.
Yes.
Who's you? Hope you're having a nice day.
Fucking bastard.
I just said a voice coach once on the radio. I can't do a Newcastle accent very well, but he said that
Newcastle, like that, right?
he said that if you want to do a Georgian accent, he said you start with a Japanese word and an Italian word, and you say Kawasaki spaghetti.
That's pretty good. That's good, man. So was spaghetti.
Cider.
What? Matthews. Ben is missing a cider.
I thought, was it your side?
Is that cider?
Oh, that's it then. There you go. That's it.
He's a cider.
He's got cider.
Yeah, I'm also.
There's actually a free table. Let one listen.
I go around. I never
Crap.
Yeah, I like that. You got that, right? Yeah. Great, eh?
Oh, something was it?
Love it.
Rory Bremner said, if you want to do.
Does anybody like cheese and crisps?
Members of the royal
I don't know
family,
why you'd have them.
you never move it on.
If you
Does anybody like crisps?
I had a car back the other day.
Yes.
Behind the wheel.
Oh,
I did not raise that young woman.
That's on today.
you're not going to do an impression of posh people. The really top tier posh people. You underplay a really bad thing and you overplay something trivial. So you say, oh, the other day we were out riding a horse and we nearly got assassinated by one of those horrible revolutionaries. But we went home and we had the most scrumptious chocolate cake.
Speaking of not having sex with children, that interview's on to them, isn't it?
It is.
You look very shifty.
Very shit up. He had like
Guilty as fuck that you don't
He is, isn't
see
he?
him. That's why that's the only reason he's doing the fucking interviews.
I mean, I get it. He's not going to get arrested. I guess. It's not. It's the Queen's. It's the Queen's fine. What? I get it. But just think of the popular things alone.
What today? Nothing's going to happen.
The interviews on tracked into it. I mean, if you're the BBC interview,
Oh, he just said, I'm sorry.
it's not a snippet.
I'd have to say, hello, Prime Minister. Yeah.
No, I don't expect it to. It's just like, don't do it again.
Yeah. The Crown will go, don't do it again. Go and say this, go do that, go do this interview, and that's the end of it. And in 3 months, it'll be totally out of public
The
consciousness.
Queen's suit is not interested.
No, there's no way. There's no fucking way that she needed that. It's in Oxfordshire. And
There's a reason why it's called Her Majesty's Court.
yeah, sorry. There's no way. He's fucking home free. Nothing's going to happen.
As much as I hate to say it, they are the elite. And they can do whatever they want.
Oh, yeah, you put out a plate in the lake now. In the lake, isn't it? So,
Do you know who I am?
yeah,
Do you know who I am?
people say, I say,
It's the right place, yeah.
yeah.
I love. I'm sorry, I'm sitting there.
Is it all the way over there?
If Boris said to me, he goes, do you want a cup of tea? And I'd say, can I make it, Boris? I'd say that. And then he'd say, oh, right, you make it. And then I'd teach him how to make it.
Oh,
I'd
yes.
say, look, Boris, you might be Prime Minister,
And that cheap cake.
I can make better tea.
Chris, I'm yours.
See, I actually think Boris is a genuine bloke. You know why?
Boris?
Because he's definitely
Are you willing for a shilling?
Yeah.
definitely.
Kind of fitting for London. You should tell when somebody's...
I will suck it.
Where's Chris?
Yeah.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with posh people. I mean, I'm posh people. The people, because I'm working class.
Mindset radio.
Podcast. I mean, most podcast people like me get on better
Mindset.
than they do with middle
Podcast.
Yeah, especially the
Podcast. Podcast mindset. Podcast. Download it into your brain.
It's the video where you show how to make these types of things.
Fuzzies. Yeah, fuzzies. It's a very, very cheap solution to a very big problem.
They win.
Yeah, look, watch now. This would normally sound terrible,
They're the real.
but it doesn't, you see.
You got the fuzzies on.
Because I hire Arabic immigrants, like Arabic 6-feet cameras.
Arabic immigrant.
And as we all know, you're not a real man if you haven't got a beard. In fact, you should be suspect. Because the Quran tells us that all people without beards should be treated as suspect.
Is it really so?
Oh yes, yes.
I went to Egypt
So
years
that's
ago. Like,
period drama, Duchess of
maybe one of our friends has a little bit of a beard.
Yeah.
They'd only talk to the guy with his like.
So I'm fucked then, aren't I, really? I'm fucked.
They only talk to the guy with the beard.
Actually, I like me.
Yeah.
No, you.
My friend, he can speak a little Arabic.
Be locked away from fucking dinner.
Better fucking start wearing it, I guess. Tie it off, like.
He's got a bald head as well.
Hello, Boris. How are you? How are you? Yeah, it's very nice.
It feels like
I like it.
Allah Akbar. And that's respectful. I'm not being disrespectful.
So
Just
one
to
of my
say,
friends is bald as well.
peace be upon you until you piss me
A
off.
beard. He's bald as well. So he knows a little bit of Arabic. And once we went through this, it was on the high street. And this guy said to like, "You bald on it." So my friend turned around and started speaking Arabic back to him. And this shopkeeper was like, like a ridiculous white guy. He's like speaking Arabic back to the seaplane. It was hilarious.
I mean, it's worse than the way around.
I went to Manchester and this Arabic bloke was speaking English to me. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I
I was like, this, you fucking cunt. And he turned away, what's saying I'm a cunt? I was like, oh my God, he speaks English. Fuck me.
Use manipulate.
Yeah.
When they said those days in there,
Fucking manual.
100 years ago to 200 years ago,
Fucking
they were
manipulate.
30 years ago.
I saw Liam Gallagher about a month ago.
In those days,
Yeah, I remember you saying. God, you mentioned some other
mean that
podcast.
now.
What a shit.
In order to join the society, you had to adhere to.
We need pictures of us not there. Well, take a
it's
picture of you if you're not there.
weren't really in your best interest. I married the wrong person.
Oh.
Send them some pictures then, Reeves. Take a
Picture
picture.
that you're
You're
like,
pissed?
ruined.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Take a picture.
I'll take pictures.
I've noticed is the middle classes.
I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
These things are etiquette now. Push people in jets. I
got some of you,
care about that.
It's Hawaii.
Middle
Oh shit!
Which, you know, the one that Trump had a hissy fit with.
down.
That's the fucking people who trying to rip me off for 15
The
quid.
middle class people.
Fucking Chinese shit.
No, this is like, this is 500 quid and it has a 40 megapixel camera in it.
Yeah,
And it's the fastest phone I've ever owned, so I'm never going back to Samsung.
Great.
Yeah.
It's always looking at these fighting.
Yeah, it even has an IR blaster in it. You see, Samsung had IR blasters, but they took them off because they're too stingy. So I was able to go into Weatherspoon today and turn off all the televisions. Using a little app here called TV Kill, and I'm not getting sponsored for that, but it works a treat. Yeah.
Remember sitting beside him on the train?
Yeah.
Very nice.
This, so I can have a look.
I like. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. My wife, she did.
He didn't put a twin on. Should have done it in all of Kazakhstan.
That's nice in here, actually. It's all right. It's great.
How can that person hear
It's
you?
fucking great in here. I love it. I love it. It's great.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Next, no. Well, he's always nice.
Oh yeah, you know what's made me laugh? No one's probably ever mentioned this, but
Voicemail, call me back.
smoke them if you got them. Don't smoke them if you haven't got them.
Do you say that? Oh, sorry, man. You,
That's what I was doing.
yeah, you can't do that with Apple. It's got to be.
No, fucking
Well, that says time.
They should film porn like that.
I do.
But then see
Yeah.
Just come to me. You'll probably appreciate that. For me to when it's
that back then, I a shitload of money.
That's great. I don't know if you know about the 8-brain circuits.
Only ever ready. We're taking pictures.
I posted some pictures for George.
It talks about
Did you post the pictures?
I posted
the
some
four
pictures for George.
circuits.
Yeah.
Is the Scottish guy?
And then it talks about the
Yeah.
which are our future resolution.
Whereabouts does it live? Too far.
Picture of us. We're fucking.
I'm like a vampire. I don't appear on Apple equipment.
That's why he's very bad. There you go.
And there's been also outbreaks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strathclyde. Strathclyde, I think.
What
Scotland.
I'm saying is that the first of
Oh,
them
is it Strathclyde?
No serious photos, please.
Oh,
I see it's Apple.
is already there.
Yeah, I told you I don't appear on Apple equipment, man. I'm a vampire.
That's why you know to
Wherever you are, he was shaking your head.
You know what? Fucking Jacob's because I'm so fucking quick on camera to catch me.
It must be.
What it is, yeah.
Jacob's ladder.
Yeah.
The
Did you post
second one
pictures?
is,
Yeah.
it's
Did it, yeah.
Anyone
But under George's post.
it's top.
Well, he posted a
It's where
video.
you find out where you are in the pecking order.
Video.
If you look under George's post, say we need pictures.
Oh yeah, I got it.
I
can't believe it's like
Time finding
George really wanted to come.
That's late child.
Like he emailed me and he said he
When,
was,
you know, it's the molecule of testosterone, which is made up of a bit of carbon here and a bit of hydrogen there and a bit of oxygen there and a bit of, you know, that all goes together as one composite form, right? You then add another piece to it, which is made up of 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. You create dihydrotestosterone. Men who go bald produce more dihydrotestosterone, DHT, than men who don't.
So we're real men.
Probably.
So is DHT?
I'll take that.
Is DHT any different from DMT?
Yeah.
Oh, DM right. Oh.
You can't get visions off of DHT.
So it's the job too. Otherwise, we'd be high as a title.
We're real men.
It's a genetic
This is
component,
the
apparently, though, because like,
just don't know
but it is testosterone. Yeah, that's why it doesn't happen to women.
Old men are real men.
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
No, bald men's testosterone goes off into dihydrotestosterone, and the dihydrotestosterone is what causes male pattern baldness. But men who produce testosterone that doesn't produce large amounts of DHT don't have
Metrosexual.
I see. Which is a way of converting one to the other.
That's probably why you all look like ex-members of Madness, and I look like Duran Duran.
Are you telling me that if you're the other type of testosterone, you're really a woman?
No,
So, what about the guys? What about the guys that are in between?
a lot
Such
of
as
Well, the people who would go bald slower
Yeah.
would still be producing DHT, but they would be producing less of it. There would be less of that kind of feedback loop going.
non-binary.
you know, like
One do the women's prefer? Yes.
Which one do women
Well,
prefer?
women
The,
like
the ones who have the most money, irrespective. Yeah.
I think if Trump needs
Bald men with a thick wallet.
Look at Trump's hair. Look at Trump. He's got the most ridiculous haircut imaginable, apart from Kim Jong Un and Boris Johnson. And look at him. He's got Melania Trump, hasn't he?
He does them haircuts, man.
Yeah, but
Hasn't it?
That's the next subject. World leaders in their head.
Political power and stupid hair.
haircuts and attitude.
Hitler,
There's definitely
Hitler, Kim Jong Un, Trump,
Hitler, a great
Boris.
haircut.
there's a connection there. But say what? A lot of
You could sweep a chimney with Kim Jong Un if you lost weight.
Chips coming for you.
you know what?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No,
See,
really.
a lot of
Three bowls of chips are on their
Really?
list.
Hey!
A lot of Bolton's stewards revolve around testosterone style suppression.
Should be discounted
Which
because
actually very unhealthy.
Hello, man. What are you going?
what are you trying to say? I've fucking got no money or live in the valleys or what?
At least,
That surprised me.
Stop you at least face
Finding
like
balls.
that.
That's a great fucking camera.
Oh,
dude.
do you want one or not?
Quality's fucking awesome.
Ask what you want.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks very much.
There's
Cheers.
another.
Anyone else want to drink?
There's a way of
Yeah,
converting, like you say, converting the one form of testosterone to the other.
Come on, Am.
Then you could cure the. Thank you very much.
Come on, Am.
You could convert, you could like cure the baldness problem without.
Ben.
He's already in.
Why is baldness a problem?
Tino, do you want one?
Well, it's not.
It's not a problem.
No, I'll wait for the
You
chips.
just said, you just said we'll cure the baldness problem. Why is it a
cosmetic?
why is it a problem?
Well,
Really cosmetic.
it would be for me because I'm vain and I like my hair.
Dude, if you lost your hair, they'd find you fucking hanging in the back.
You know what you remind me of? Either a character from either The Witcher or Lord of the Rings
Lord of the Rings, yes.
or
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Make your face blue.
Elrond of Rivendell. Yeah.
what's the one they just destroyed?
I don't know.
What's that TV series?
What?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Oh,
Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did destroy that.
They just destroyed it there.
Unfortunately,
What do you mean destroyed it?
they destroyed it, dude.
By the angle.
It was great for 7 years, then it destroyed it. Is this the mindset meetup?
Yeah. Oh, welcome.
Hey!
Oh, no more sexist jokes. Fucking no more fucking. Yeah.
Beautiful. My drink.
Thanks very much.
There you go.
Thank you. Got it fucking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Gareth. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Tino.
Hello, Alison. I'm Reeves. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hiya. Hi, Ted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's got Miles Johnson right there.
Oh, yeah.
You might have seen some of my movies.
No.
They've been straight to VHS. Sorry. Straight to VHS.
Oh, that's it. Thanks. Be nice.
Oh my God.
The guy looks like
Urbex.
Pinches. No, sorry.
Lights, camera,
Lights.
action.
Well,
Right, some more stuff around here.
Yeah, let's play some tables and stuff.
oh, you should like.
Table or just
Whatever.
It's actually a hint to life.
You would
Have a
not
chip
believe
like,
the level
you know
of
what I
the
mean?
conversation
This
we're
was
having
like
before you
prevent
turn up.
tomorrow's
But
hangover.
it's going to go back to normal now. Yeah.
Oh, not too normal.
No.
No,
Never too long.
Thank you so much for coming. This is great.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. No,
So you guys know each other, yeah?
way in the past. I had it.
We don't.
Oh,
No.
no, you know.
No,
No?
No?
We've never
Oh,
met.
oh, right, okay.
No, I was supposed to come to the last one.
but you heard me on the thing,
Well,
right?
we kind of met in podcast land.
In
podcast land.
That's Reeves. That's the world famous Reeves right there. That's Reeves.
Ben?
Emlyn Jones.
Thank you very much.
The legend, the man, the myth, the legend, right there.
You guys expecting many people to rock up? Or?
Well, hopefully Colin's coming. No, Colin
We're
Wilson.
expecting a nature